What's up, YouTube? This is Swad from Hebrew Legends. I am bringing you guys not much of a recap for this war. I was able to get half a replay right before the update. The maintenance break kicked me off for an hour and a half, and I know all the replays are going to be gone because of that. So frantically, I kind of tried to get a portion of one of my attacks to show you guys, because there's a very cool trick that I learned this war with a Barbarian King and with regard to jump spells. I don't generally like to show my own attacks. I think it's a little self-serving, but in this case it was just a trick that I myself had never seen before, and I think is going to be useful to you guys, so I wanted to bring it to you. It was, in effect, really all that I got. I got no other replays. I had like 2 minutes to scramble a number of programs on my computer to get them to pop up in order to, record. But I'll give a quick kind of summary of the war. It was against Divergence. They're a war clan. They had a number of great attacks. We 3-starred all the Town Hall 9s, 3-starred a couple of the 10s. Clifford had another great war. It was an evenly matched Town Hall 10 war. We may have been down one, actually. I think we were down one, Town Hall 10. But aside from that, it was evenly matched. It was a great war. Divergence, cheers to you guys. One of their players hopped over after just to talk with us for a bit. Great group of guys, it sounds like. If anybody's looking for a kind of mid-tier war clan like Hebrew Legends, Divergence is absolutely one that is available to you. Go check them out. Cool group of guys. I am going to get going on this replay. You can see here I'm frantically searching for the correct replay, because originally I had started recording the wrong one. I used 2 surgical hog attacks this war, and so just picked the wrong one initially and wasted about a minute of my time. Very few minutes that I had left, I wasted a portion of them trying to find the right replay, but ended up finding it. And got enough of it that I can show you guys. I apologize for the double speed. It was unavoidable, given that I only had like 2 minutes left before the maintenance break to get this for you. This is a shattered surgical hog. I dropped 2 golems here to attract fire, to draw fire. A Tesla popped and kind of ruined that plan. So they both just converged in the center, and I end up losing all these side whizzies to different things. Queen goes down behind just to clean up the rest of the trash. I'm waiting on the king, because I'm just going to lure on the fly, and I brought a lightning spell for the CC troops. Luckily he didn't have a dragon or anything, because that would have caused even more trouble. You want to hold off on the king in these cases. Shattered the Loon is the same way. If you're not luring and killing with a kill squad, you need to wait to drop your king until your golems attract all of their CC troops. Your golems are there to tank. Use them to tank. Don't let your king walk in there and attract all the fire of those CC troops, because he's much more valuable as a queen killer. So use him for that purpose and let your golems do the tanking. The queen's back there. As soon as I get the CC, king goes in. I lightning the witch. She does not die, though. The queen just went down. This is going to be kind of hard to see, so I apologize again for the double speed. The witch is still up. He's got a wizard here, some skellies. My king, who's here, just took out his queen. Okay? I am going to shortly use his ability, and something curious happens with the jump spell. And just to reiterate a tidbit that I included in a past video, the jump spell's effective range, most people believe it to be essentially roughly 5 spaces. So if this were a walled off air defense up here, you could place the jump right on top of it, and presumably any unit could jump in from any side. That's kind of the maximum effective area of a jump spell. And one of the things I talked about in a previous video is that it's actually one more than that. You can drop a jump, say, over here by this archer tower, which is 6 spaces in length, and your units are going to jump in here and actually will be able to use the kind of lasting aura of the jump spell for 1 extra space and jump over. So the moral of the story is the jump spell essentially works for an extra space. Rather than the 5 that it appears to cover, it actually covers 6. But what I've learned because of this replay, as I was watching it, looking for battles to show you guys, watch what my king does here. I'm going to rage him. It's going to happen really quickly, so I'll just give you kind of a quick summary of what will happen. I'm going to rage him. That will enlarge him, and he's just about, what you can't see is he's just about to hit this wall. The queen is now the closest unit to him because the archer, or I'm sorry, the witch is now the closest unit to him because the archer queen just went down. So he's just about to start beating on this wall because he's out of the range of the jump spell now. And instead, what happens is that I rage him. It enlarges him, basically, and he then kind of is able to use the jump spell far beyond its actual effective range. He, in a sense, extends the jump spell. So I'm gonna play it here. It's gonna happen pretty quick, so you'll just have to watch closely, I'm afraid. So I rage him, and look at that. He just travels like 6 spaces and just hops over this wall. I will rewind this just a tad so you can see right here. He is clearly, I'll use a different color so you guys can see. He's clearly outside of that jump spell. And he's not 1 space outside, he's like 2 or 3 spaces outside of that jump spell. You know, that's not just 1 extra space over here. He's deep outside that jump spell at the point he jumps over. So why does he jump over? Because when you enrage your king, he grows. And so not only, I guess not only that, but he also, his speed increases. So because he grows, he more or less has an extra foot in the jump spell. So even if he's outside of it, here, when you rage him, his own kind of aura, if you will, grows to something like this. And the spell then is actually intersecting with him, and he can use it, which is an incredible thing that I had no idea about. You know, you'll see half of a raid here because Supercell eventually kicks me off. But it's a very interesting, kind of an interesting trick about the king that I didn't know about. You can see there the maintenance break is occurring, so I get kicked off. But I'll rewind again and just show one more time what happens. The most intriguing aspect of this is the fact that he actually is about to target a wall right here. If you watch closely, right after he kills the queen, he turns toward the witch, facing her, draws back his sword as if he's about to hit the wall, and when I rage him, he then retargets. Because he's enlarged, he can now use the jump spell, and so then he just beelines over here for the wizard. Pretty interesting game mechanics, certainly. Look at that. Just hops right over that wall, 3 spaces away from the jump spell. Pretty interesting. Hope you guys like that little trick. It actually may be very effective for you if you can employ it directly. Sorry I don't have more content for you guys. Supercell is doing their best to ruin any chance I had at recording replays in a timely fashion. So we're just starting another war in Hebrew Legends, so I'll get you guys some replays from that one. But until then, this is Swide from Hebrew Legends. You guys have a good one.